Okay, so problem straight off the bat, if you're at home considering changing the roof on your Escort and you've still got it covered in paint and you don't really know how it's all joined and sealed. You can see here we have this seam, which I think was either originally kind of lead or bronze. Not so evident here on the front. You can see it's kind of been bronzed in there, I think, and with maybe some lead there as well. So we want to be careful when we cut that lead out. We don't want to be breathing that in, and especially if it gets hot and starts to melt. Anyway, so that's the first thing. We've got to get rid of these seams, or at some stage get rid of these seams. After that, we've got loads of spot welds across the seam of the windscreen. Also down the channel here, you can see kind of like the rain gutter, there's loads of little spot welds in there, and then also loads of spot welds across the back. So I think for me, I think the first thing I'm going to do, this panel's definitely coming off. Whether we manage to get that one off over there in one piece and on remains to be seen, but we'll deal with it as it comes. First thing I'm going to do is drill out these spot welds around the edge and just try and get this skin off. That's the can at the moment, where we can cut this if we have to and then just settle this. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to start. Drilling spot welds. So far, not so good. Oh, better let the bus out. My bad. Oh, traffic lights. Okay, so yeah, so far not so good. I was all ready to roll, had everything ready to start filming, ready to get the roof off. Just one little piece that was missing, which was the spot weld drill bits, or drill pieces, I think that's what they're called. I can't find mine. I find the case, and I can find the spare cutting bits, the outer bits, but as the spring-loaded centerpiece, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you very shortly. But the main body that goes in the drill, I can't find that anywhere. I've looked. I spent 20 minutes, 30 minutes looking now for all my toolboxes. Najad as well, I can't find his. So only one solution, and that's to buy some more. They're from Machine Mart. I'll get them. I'll tell you how much and what they look like in a second when I get there. But a bit of an inconvenience, obviously, losing time. And now my car has just come up with a spanner, and a little picture of a car and a spanner on the dash. I think that might be to remind me that I should be spannering my car more than sitting in this car. I think that's what the spanner in the car means. So I have one. Didn't take long, which was good. Here he is. The Clark spot weld drill 5/16. This is just the smaller one, suitable for air drills. Excluding VAT, £6.99, with VAT £8.39. So you can buy a set, but I have the set, and I have these. These are the bits I have. This centerpiece is kind of sprung loaded. This little thing here, this blue condom, you don't want to go in with that. You want to get rid of that, and then you end up with this, and that's kind of spring loaded. These are reversible as well. You can, or changeable. Change the sides, whichever way. Once one's worn down, you can put a new one on. So that's what it looks like. It's very sharp at the edge, spring loaded. So you create a little dint with your hole punch, and then you push this in, and then slowly makes contact with the metal, drills out. There we go. Put the condom back on. That's your spot weld drill bit from Machine Mart. Top notch. Right, what are you going to need? Some protective equipment, goggles, ear muffs, and a heater. Looks like a jet engine. Sounds like a jet engine. Anyway, spot welds. This is what we're looking at here. This thing. Try to get some focus on there. My little flipper. These things. So you want a center punch, and you want the center punch spot weld. got a nice little hole. And once it's got a hole, you get the drill with a drill piece, put them in the hole, and then you start. You just want to go through the top skin, you don't want to go too far. I won't do it too much just yet, because I'll do a couple of them, and then I get my chisel in between the two panels to prise it up, because you'll find sometimes you don't have to go all the way through. When you put your chisel in, it will just prise it enough and it will just tear the very thin piece of steel that's there, and then you're left with all the meat and the bottom piece fully intact. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that on all the spot welds across the top and the front, and we'll get that done as quick as we can. So as you can see, I've gone through the top piece. I've just put a screwdriver just gently in between the two panels, just to prise it off, and now you can see the top panel is loose from the bottom, and the bottom is still fully intact. So when the skin comes off, we can just grind these down flush. A nice little trick you can do here is put your screwdriver in between the two pieces, just to put a bit of pressure on the top skin, and when you drill it, I'll try and get a video of that, when you drill it, the top skin just pops off nice and easy. So there we go. There we go. Pops off, you get a nice little hole. Bottom skin is not damaged at all. Insert the screwdriver and go along. It's all done. The back, yeah, drilled, everyone. Coming around to the sides, not sure how I'm going to tackle that yet. And even worse than that, we've got this gutter rail, drain rail. The amount of spot welds down there is literally hundreds. There's one every centimetre maybe. Yeah, there's quite a few that run all the way down here. Drilling all them out, it's going to take a little bit of time. I'm not sure that's the best way of going about it. But as I drill them, because of the lip on the rail, it's going to be very hard to prise it up to make sure it's loose from the material below. So what I think I'm going to do is initially cut as close to the bend there in the rail all the way down and across, just to get the skin off, and then once I've got better access from the other side, I can start to drill these and get a screwdriver down here as I run to basically curl up the metal as we go all the way down, just to get that piece off. And then when we take it from the other side off the spare roof, I think we can just cut the channel off that roof. But we'll see. For now, drill the spot welds on the forward piece. Okay, the front bit is done. Didn't go as well as the back. Initially I dropped the drill from up here, which bent the pin on the spot weld drill, and then I had to straighten that, and then it didn't go in and out of its springy location properly. Luckily I found the old one, which was good. So I kind of combine the two to get the smaller drill, spot weld drill with a new springy bit. Yeah, sounds very complicated. But all the front is come off. It was a bit hard in the back for some reason, but they're all done. So now we just got to tackle these side rails. I think, as I said before, I'm just going to angle grind down there and across the top here just to get this skin off, and then I can have a look at drilling some of them spot welds out, or maybe if there's enough room just run a grinder down there with a flat disc just to take that back. Gingerly made a cut down the edge just because I don't really know what's behind it, so I don't want to go too deep. And I just want to get the skin off first so I can have a look at what exactly is underneath. So it's just coming off now. As you can see, it's off at the front, off at the side, also off at the back. Up here inside. So we're just going to take the other side, get this roof off. Yeah! There's the roof. The old roof skin. There's the street side. That's all. Have a look at the car. Here we have it. There's the roof, there's the cage, fully welded at the top, got the centre bar, leave it in, take it out, don't know. This rebarb's coming out because that's not MSA approved. I think it's African Motorsport approved but not MSA. And the front rail needs cleaning up, and then we just need to now get rid of these bits and also the guttering. Not sure how we're going to do that yet. Right, roof's up, new roof is here, so it's just basically the same kind of stuff. Get over all the crap here, drill out spot welds, clean it up, and then cut off this rail and then offer it up. See what it looks like. So I've been mauling with this roof now for I don't know, 2 or 3 hours. It's not going well. I've cut the window opening front and rear. I've cut down the inner frame to separate the inner frame from the out skin. The edges, I wanted to be a little bit tidier with it. I wanted to basically cut the edge of the rain gully off to keep the flange of the roof skin, and then I wanted to cut down the inside of the roof right on the seam. Very careful not to cut into the roof skin, but careful enough to basically separate it from the inner frame. The problem is with that, I'm going to show you on one with the car. The bracket that holds the roof with the rain gully and the flange and everything is spot welded on, which is fine. So I'm trying to cut up here. So you can see that if you get an angle grinder blade, a thin one, and it runs up, you're going to have to come high enough to come all the way through the top of this bracket. But depending on how straight your cut is, you're either going to not cut this all the way up, or you're going to come outside of it and go into your roof skin, or you're going to go inside and then start cutting into the inner framework, which means later on it's still going to be connected. Like if you have a cut here, it's still going to be connected here and here to the inner frame, the skin. So it's very, very difficult to get a cut right up here. Yeah, very difficult that way. So second way, I wanted to just basically separate the skins completely from the inner frame. And I just ran the angle grinder really roughly down the frame in the middle, just to get the two inner frame and the skin apart, still with the flanges and everything on the out skin. But doing that, it's still not very well. It's still not gone very well at all. it's still stuck fast. I lost my screwdriver, but this is cut all the way around now, everywhere, and it's still hard, fast onto the inner frame. So I don't really know. I think I might just have to start cutting very carefully down the flange there, and then because there's quite a bit of metal on the car, just transfer that over onto the car and see how we go. Either way, it's not going so well. So you join me again in the garage, another day, another dollar, or another day spent cutting roofs. So after yesterday's disaster with trying to cut that internal frame out of the donor roof, tried a million different ways as you saw yesterday, and today I came back with a fresh mind, fresh ideas, and it's gone quite well. It's still taking a little bit of time, but your best bet is, and I've tried all the ways, I've tried drilling the spot welds, I've tried to angle grind the inner frame out completely just to leave the skin, but the best way is generally the first way I tried, which was to cut the rain gutter off. Here it's on the car, you can see. Just needs a bit of fettling around the edges, but it fits quite well considering all I've done is taken the old frame out. We've got the joints to worry about. Anyway, you cut the rain gully, or the fold, off the donor roof so it fits down yours if you've kept the lip. Otherwise you can keep the lip on and just cut yours off the car, but I don't think that's a good idea. Anyway, once you do that, you can turn the roof round and you'll see the seam from the inside, and you basically want to cut down the seam on the inside. Now you have to be very accurate with your angle grinding. You need a super thin disc. I've got like 1mm discs, and I go through, I've been through about 10 of these, but they're super thin, super good. Haven't had any problems with them yet. Basically you want to cut, it's basically going to be like this seam up here, and when you cut there, as I was showing you yesterday with this panel that's on the car, if you get the cut just right and you just literally want to be the seam, you want to be like 1/2 mil more towards the lip to cut. Anyway, when you start to cut, if the blade goes straight through the steel and it's quite an easy cut, it means you've only gone through the small edge piece between the roof skin and the older panel. If it starts to feel like it's cutting some meat and it's taking some time to cut, then basically what you're doing is cutting up this inner attached piece to the car. You don't want to be cutting up there. You want to cut just basically on top of that piece, but underneath. So that's where you need to be aiming for. But once you do that, you can cut all the way down the length for your side, and then the front you can, however you want to do it, you can drill out the spot welds. I wanted to take it from below, so basically I've got full metal here to spot weld back on the front, and I've still got the rain gutter. So far that's the easiest way of getting your roof skin off your donor roof, and as fitment wise goes, it's pretty accurate. Just got to join these joints up, and this is a roof off a 4-door as well. So if there's any of you out there wondering if a roof of a 4-door Mark II Escort fits a 2-door Escort, then the answer is yes, fits very well. And the roof is great looking. Yeah, happy so far. So next thing is tidy up the inner flanges on the original car, cut off the surplus on the edge joints, and then we'll look at attaching the roof to the car, getting it all clamped down, and then welding. Happy days. We're at the precarious welding stage. The roof is in. Got rid of most of the lead around the joints, but the fit is really good. It fits the front seam, top window, the rail fits really nice all the way down. Fits the top bar correctly, and fits the front seam, and also the front opening when that's clamped joins perfectly as well. So that's it. So far, so good. The thing to do here, if you have one, and the best thing to do would be to spot weld the whole thing with like a specific spot welder. I don't have one, and I tried to get one today and it's all fallen through. So I could leave it at this stage and wait, but I'm back to work and who knows when I'm going to be back down the garage. So I'm going to push on with the MIG and just see how we go. I'm going to put some holes in the front lips here, and then just have a go at putting some holes down the drain lip here, just to see first up how the material handles the drill, and if that seems to be going okay and there's a bit of material there, then the welding should hopefully just loads of little spots all the way down, nothing too major. Hopefully should go okay. So that's where we're at. Yeah, let's have a go, see what happens. She's clamped. I have all my little holes at the edge for the plug welds. I also have the holes across the back opening and for the front. Yeah, let's just start welding, see how we go. So it's day 3 of the roof fit and it's complete. It's all on. I drilled the holes as you saw. I kind of mounted it all up, used about 1,000,000 clamps just to get it all into place, fit the rear aperture really quite nicely in the front as well, and then just basically plug welded them. Same down the rails, just do one at a time, work your way up, don't go too crazy, don't put too much heat into the panel. Had the airline as well, just to cool the panel down as I was going, and then once you plug welded them all in, just linish them back on the front and also down the side. You can get your angle grinder in there maybe, just to get them all cleaned up. And now, just going to put some primer in there just to stop it corroding too much. But the whole car is going to get, crap! The whole car is going to get dipped again before it gets painted, because obviously painting over that is going to be a disaster.